We are back in your life, the Dream 3 podcast, brought to you by Slab Savers, brought to you by Graded Card Solutions. This is episode 6. We got Dylan back, thank goodness, but he's still on his phone with some Burger King Wi-Fi, so hopefully we don't drop him.
Yeah,
throughout.
we'll at least get the chicken sandwich.
So hopefully Dylan can stay in the entire podcast this time and we don't drop him over and over and over. But
10-1.
How are you guys doing, Neil? What's going on in your world lately? What's up?
I'm getting excited for this national coming up. It's like every week that ticks by, I'm just like getting so antsy and ready to blow my entire life savings.
Dylan, what's going on with you? Sports world?
Trying to survive baseball. Baseball's been an absolute mess the last week or so. I mean, Vegas is fucking just raking. I mean, one of the worst examples, the Cardinals, whom I just happen to be a favorite team of mine, and they're terrible. They were -2 run line this week, which in baseball does not happen. It's -1.5 is about every game that you see. They were -2. They won, or they were +2. They won that game. They were huge underdogs, and they won that fucking game against the Giants. Had no business doing it. Vegas is cleaning up. So I've been trying to stay away from a lot of run line baseball and doing team totals and some props and just trying to focus on, honestly, football. Just prepping for college football and NFL because that tends to be my best sport betting wise is college football. So yeah. I just prepping for that and getting some futures together for NFL and trying to survive baseball.
Right on. Well, if you followed us on any of our social media platforms, you've noticed this week that we have a new sponsor for the platform, and it's awesome. We'd like to welcome Slab Savers or protectyourslabs.com. If you haven't checked out anything that they have some great stuff that will protect any high dollar slab that you have. They have a nice 30 PSA case, also fits probably BGS cards, has a humidifier in it. Your personal slabs that you want to keep together, all custom made. Neil, you got a big experience with that. Let me know what you think of their products.
Well, I got so this is one of his first products that he made. I'll let you get this, man. This is one of the first products he made. It's a 30 card case. Fits like directly in my backpack. So like, there's what it looks like. And then like, this is the inside. He had this custom made for me. So nice little insert for the Doughboy. And then it's got a 30 rack case. So right now I'm housing, Brady's in there. So they're in hand. But no, it's fantastic. His new cases have some like some humidity control in them. So I mean, it's a great product, custom made, specifically to your brand. And then I also have they're all in the bank right now, but I have 5 or 6 individual slab ones. I'll have to bring those on in a different episode because there's some pretty sick ones that I have for Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Gretzky, LeBron. I did have one for Luka, but I sold that. But yeah, Jerry's a great person. He's easy to work with, and he makes some sick stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So if you go to protectyourslabs.com, use the code DREAM3, you'll get 10% off your entire order. So get your personal slabs, get some custom stuff, get your big box that you want to take to the Nationals.
It fits in a backpack, so
fits in the backpack. So make it happen. Next one, we got to thank Graded Card Solutions. So if you haven't seen Graded Card Solutions, they make great boxes to ship your slabs, perfectly protected. You just put it together, and you're not worried about if you use
bubble
mailers or bubble wraps or things. And the best part is that they're reusable. Yep. So, one person can take it out, just open it, bring it back in, and then ship it right again. So Great.
Unless you open it like a monster.
Unless you open it like a monster and cut it up.
You might need a couple.
Yeah,
like
just don't be an
Cookie
idiot. I think that'll probably be your best.
Well, that's not easy for everybody, Neil.
For sure. But go to greatestship.com, use Dream 15, get percentages off your total to get it going, man. So thank you to our sponsors. It's great to pick up only on our 6th episode. We got 2 great sponsors. So if you're following us on social media, follow those guys. Follow them on Instagram, on Facebook. Even Slab Saver's got a Twitter. So follow them where you can, and support the people that support us and support the hobby, because that's what it's all about, is everybody working together to make this thing bigger. There are no dips if we all work together. So that's right. Great. So let's jump right into our sports takes for today.
Caleb, who's ripping behind you?
That is the sports card investor guy.
Okay.
I watch his videos all the time.
Can you turn that guy off, please?
I'll put on Ryan if you want me to.
He is like, yeah, please put on Ryan, like somebody who's actually, worth something to this hobby.
Ooh. Very.
Sports card investor does a really good job at losing people's money. I'll just say that.
Is he a Derek Carr guy, or
no?
No. Have you seen some of his plays?
I have.
I don't
oh my god! I forget who did it, but somebody was on Instagram. He went through like 6 months worth of like, here's the top 5 guys to invest in this week, and literally all of them were down like 400% over the course of that.
They were all Tyler Hero, weren't they?
Yeah, they were all Tyler Hero Prison PSA 10.
Yeah, speaking of,
during the finals, he's going to be the next big thing.
I'm glad I had all 5 of those PSA 10s, and I sold them right before the playoffs, and right after that, they dumped. Thank goodness.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Tyler Hero be playing with Kyle Kuzma and Anthony Davis and the Chinese Guozhang Lions, Tigers, whatever they are.
So let's jump into it. So first sports topic I want to get after is Shohei Ohtani. So you got a guy who can pitch and a guy who can hit. Something we haven't seen in baseball in a very, very long time, almost Babe Ruth days. When you think about it, you look at his stats. He's only the 3rd year in the big leagues. This year he's hitting 31 home runs. He's batting .278 with 67 runs batted in. Pitching wise, he's 3-1 on the mound with a 3.6 ERA and 83 strikeouts. He's also the first to be named as an all-star as a pitcher and a position player. Dylan, I'll start with you on this one. Like, is this a great move for baseball? Does this make baseball interesting?
I'm a baseball fan in general. I don't necessarily follow it as hard as I do, obviously, some of the other sports, because it is so long. I mean, Ohtani was huge when he was coming into the league, and maybe even got some flack for being overhyped initially, and then, an injury. But what he's doing this year is unbelievable. I mean, he's to the point now where he has a week or two probably built in that if he weren't to play or get rest or an injury, the MVP is still his. I mean, something drastic would have to happen for him not to win the MVP this year. If I'm the Angels, I still worry about, it's a long season, 162 games. Like,
got
Mike Trout for somebody to do both. I almost like him if you were to get him into like a reliever kind of a role. I mean, something where he's not, going 5-6 innings and then, in the lineup for how many consecutive days after that as a DH. I don't know if that's something they'll flirt with, down the road or after a year or two. But no, watching an Angels game is unbelievable with him in the lineup. Now, it sucks that Trout isn't playing, because if Trout was playing, those two together would be incredible. And it also sucks that he's just on the Angels, who are dog shit and, play at midnight.
When's Trout coming back? Isn't he supposed to be back in like a week or two?
So he started walking and jogging and hitting off a tee like last week. So
all he needs to do is just smack balls and then sit in center field. Like, he doesn't need to do anything else.
Yeah, he's probably a couple weeks away.
He can walk to first base. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get him out there swinging a bat.
Probably a couple weeks away, unfortunately. When Ohtani was up on his birthday, and I believe the bases were juiced or 2 people were on, and he had a chance for not only like a win, but to push the over, mind you. I thought it was a lock. I was like, Ohtani, birthday, hot like fire. If he hits a home run, it's a game winner and the over. I mean, I was rooting for it. I didn't even have the fucking over. I knew 1,000 people did, and at home were rooting for it too.
So Neil, what's your take on it? I know you had some hot takes coming in for this.
Well, yeah, I wanted to save this for the podcast because here's the thing: baseball was a dying sport. Well, I'm just going to be honest. Baseball is so unbearable to watch. For 9 innings, I would rather watch like some terrible like tennis, like first round Wimbledon, where give me something so bad. Give me curling. I will watch curling.
How dare you?
Over baseball.
How dare you?
But I will say this. I can now watch a player like Shohei Ohtani, Tatis, or Vlad Jr. I can watch them at the at-bat, and that's about it. Then I'll turn it off afterwards because I don't really care about the game. I just want to see those guys smack the cover off a ball. I want to see them hit a ball so hard that it just, like, obliterates, like, someone or, like, goes through something, like, just breaks something. Like, that would be perfect. Other than that, I could care less about baseball. I just want to see those guys smack the ball as hard as possible.
See,
I agree. I agree. I think they make the game fun. You know, Ohtani, Tatis, you know, Mike Trout. It's like when kind of we were growing up. We grew up in the long ball era with McGuire and Sosa and Bond.
The steroids era.
Yeah,
and I think we talked about this as kids. Caleb, is like when we were kids, we were like, we don't care about the steroids. Like, just let those guys juice up. Let Dontrell throw 98 at your head.
100%.
Let Jason Giambi and Mark McGuire take steroids before they go up to bat and then try and hit someone with it. Like, I don't care.
We
like,
want
they
to
could throw the ball over the fence.
We want to see the ball go as far as possible.
Like I wanted to see it go into another city. Like, please.
Yeah. So, but I totally agree with you on that part. Like, you know, baseball is not my favorite sport. We went to a baseball game, a AAA game here in Indianapolis, during 4th of July, and it's just like, man, I don't see how this is pop. And it's my opinion. Being a football player, it's just like, it's not. I don't even call it a team sport. It's basically an individual sport. It's a pitcher versus a batter.
It is.
So,
I agree.
So if you have a good pitching duel, then it's not, you know, it's not a team sport.
There's a lot of defense involved in a pitcher's duel, though.
Could be, unless you throw a no-no.
I mean, if you got a good catcher who can call a good game, and you got a pitcher who's got great command, yeah, you may need some guys to make a couple fielding plays, but at the same time, like,
well, because
just drags on and on.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
the goal isn't necessarily a strikeout. That's
like, I'm not going to games to watch like Tatis play. Like, I'll watch him hit, and then after that, I'm gonna go get beers and hot dogs, and I'm probably, you know, just gonna mow down like 12 hot dogs as fast as I can, like Joey Chestnut, and that's gonna be my night. So I don't care. Like, I could care less about the game. Give me a hot dog, give me a beer. That's what I'm there for.
Understand. It's the theatrics, the old school feeling, the tradition of baseball, where I still feel like exactly. Well, I feel baseball is still kind of like the last sport that's behind, because, you know, all the time America was baseball, and then it kind of went to basketball, and now football has jumped over them, and football is the most dominant sport in America right now.
Yeah, it's because that's the freaking notion they always lived by was, well, that's how we've always done it. We want to keep tradition. It's like, dude, make it appealing. You're falling behind, man.
For sure. So I want to move on, but we didn't talk about this pre-podcast, but I want to get your thoughts because I'm thinking of it right now. Tampa Bay Lightning, back-to-back finals. What'd you think?
Not a surprise.
Yeah, I will say this. Do you think – I think the way they constructed the playoff format was the reason why Tampa Bay won. Because they had to go and you had essentially two, like, let's say if this was a regular season, you would have the Vegas Golden Knights and you'd have the Avalanche playing in the conference finals in the Western Conference. And you'd have the Tampa Bay Lightning and you'd probably have the Boston Bruins playing in the conference finals. And it's just the way that they constructed it, where you had like the Canadians teams playing, then you had the Metro team playing, the East Coast teams, then you had out West, then you had down South. This was like the divisions, the way they ran it. It was just it, like you set up like the second round of the playoffs. You have the two best teams in the entire league playing against each other and knocking each other out.
NHL has always had a fucked playoff system. I agree. It for a long time. I mean, hell, the Penguins this year, and I'll be a little bit of a homer, they had to play the best fucking defensive team, the Islanders, in the second round. I mean, that's not.
No, it was opening round, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was the opening round because they were up 3. Yes. The Penguins were up 3-1, and Isles 1-7.
Yeah, so you win your division and you get the best defensive team in the league. Like,
yep,
that's the reward you get. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and then you get podunk Montreal, who gets to go skate their way to the conference finals because they played a team that was in a bloodbath for 6 games with the Avs and the Knights, and then they go and play They play a Montreal team, and it's like,
I mean, what the Canadians did was still hella impressive. I'm happy for Carey Price that he put it together and, you know, honestly put on a show. But I mean, I think I said it on one of our previous, you know, episodes that, I mean, I had Tampa in 4, Tampa in 5. I mean, that was just not a surprise.
Suns guy should have been a Tampa fan because that's what it was looking like.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild to think that a couple of years ago you looked at Stamkos and Ovechkin and you were like, how are maybe some of the 2 best goal scorers of our generations don't have a single cup, and now they have 3. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's good to see those guys get some rings, even though I don't like. I mean, it's not that I dislike Ovechkin. I'm just, you know, I'm a Penguins fan, so the Capitals are just not for me. But yeah, now that Stamkos has got 2 rings, he was probably in the Hall regardless because of him being a scorer, but now his legacy is so much more. And for guys like Kucherov, going forward,
Braden Point, Victor Hedman,
Hedman,
Vasilevsky.
Yeah, the Lightning went from a team that had always disappointed to now that, you know, they've gone back to back and probably not even some of their best teams. They might have had some of their best teams years ago.
I would agree with that.
Choked out, and now they've got 2 back to back, and kind of a redemption situation for just that franchise.
Yeah,
a team that went from you can't wear the opposing team's jersey inside the building to
hey, they did something right.
I guess whatever works for you. So okay, we'll move on to the next topic, but I want to tell everybody who's watching right now, if you can, drop us a like, share, tell your friends, write in the comments because we can see all the comments and bring it up on air. So if you got any questions while we're talking, shoot them to us so we can stay involved here. Next one, NBA Finals. You know, the Bucks are down 0-1 to the Suns. Dylan's rocking his Suns in 4 jersey. My personal opinion here on this Finals is the biggest winner right now is Chris Paul. Is Chris Paul going to add a championship to his Hall of Fame legacy? Is he a Hall of Famer with or without it? And finally, I think the biggest loser of not just the NBA Finals, but all of the playoffs is superstar health. I mean, they rushed that season so hard that, you know, we don't know, you know, LeBron complained about it. Giannis complained about it. Like,
Janice.
It's really tough to keep those guys, and you can see that they're starting to fall apart the closer we're getting to the finals. It's just like, you know, that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, your body can only take so much, and when you play 82 games, 72 games, and then you go around and play, and then if you make the finals and win, then you're playing another 72 games and a month and a half, you know, you're like, you're just trying to catch your breath at that point. And I'm like, Yeah, there was like a meme going around. I think I shared it with you guys. It was like what we all expected, and it was King Kong, Godzilla, Lakers versus the Nets, and then what we all got, and it was Barney. Barney is the Bucks, and Curious George as the Suns. This is, and then like there's some other memes where it's like, it's like, what you're getting. Like it's great for these teams, but I mean,
it's not what you want to see.
It's just like with college basketball. You want to see the blue bloods get far.
What's
everybody
wild
likes the
for
Cinderella
me
story, but
is that you have a back-to-back NBA MVP in the finals, and people are fading him like a motherfucker. Like, what does that say about Giannis and just him as a player? That, I mean, the money is so heavy, Suns, and you have a MVP in the finals, and it's not because he's not healthy. He played 35 minutes game one. That man is healthy, and you still
he's not 100%, but even 80% of Giannis is still. I mean, he looked great. I mean, the chase down block that he had, on Cameron Payne was phenomenal.
Crazy.
So Neil, are you picking the Suns or are you picking the Bucks?
Well, I think before game one, if Giannis wasn't going to play, it was going to be like the Suns in 5 or 6. But I think if Giannis is playing, then it's got to be Bucks in 7. I just think they're a better team. They are a better team. Like Drew Holiday's a better defender. Chris Middleton can give you 48 minutes if he needs to and play defensively. PJ Tucker can guard. Like they're defensively sound. Giannis is a rim protector. The healthier he gets, the better I like the Bucks deeper in the series.
I think, and I wrote on somebody's page, it's not that, I like Giannis, but I would like to see the Suns win just because, it's the Suns. They haven't been to the finals since what? The Barkley days?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Well, the Bucks haven't been to the finals since what, 70s?
Yeah, but when I think of, even though they haven't been to the finals, I think of the Bucks because of Giannis as not a premier team, not like the Lakers or the Nets, but I think of them as one of those middle to higher tier teams. When I think of the Suns, I think of freaking fat Charles Barkley running up and down the court with his belly hanging out.
See, I think
before getting swept by MJ. So I would like to see the Suns win personally.
I think it's good for the NBA regardless. I think anybody wins. Like if Giannis wins, it's great for Giannis in the card market, but it's also great just for his legacy. In the same way, like it's great for Chris Paul. I think he was a Hall of Famer regardless if he won a championship or not. I mean, if Barkley made it to the Hall, then definitely. I mean, Chris Paul's got to make it.
For sure.
I mean, Chris Paul's in. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
So Slabstock or Slab Saber jumped in. Chris Paul has maintained the same stats since he was a kid. He was destined to get into a championship, just like Stocks. Numbers consolidated and run horizontal until something big happens. I was talked out of holding his black refractor and X refractor gem, but I'm proud to have owned them.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be good for Chris Paul. I think that's great for a guy that I think a lot of people respect in the NBA. So
cool.
Well, if the NBA hadn't fucked his trade to the Lakers, he'd already have a championship.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he would.
For sure.
A trade that was perfectly fine and had no reason not to go through.
So they veto his trade to go to the Lakers, but they let Kevin Durant sign with the Warriors. Like, what kind of NBA is this? This is so stupid. And then Kevin Durant builds a super team out in Brooklyn, and they're like, "Oh yeah, completely fair, completely fair."
That was such a joke. Oh my god.
Yeah, so stupid. So
now, so Slab Savers is ready to see Chris Paul win it and rub it into James Harden's beard.
James Harden is a drunk, overpaid clown. That guy, I swear, he's getting fatter each week. Like, I think he might be fatter than me now.
The problem is he can shoot the 3 ball and you can't.
That's true. That's true. Well, he's also 6'5". I wish I could be 6 feet.
Yeah, but Neil plays more defense on.
That's true. I play better defense than James Harden does. And I'd be huffing and puffing after the first time down the court.
Oh, I guarantee that. So finally, my favorite topic that I want to get into for sports. So as we know, as we're all college athletes, or I'm a former college athlete, we're all fans of college athletics. It was signed into law that college athletes can now make money off their likenesses. So you see the explosion as soon as the day started. So
I'm pretty sure I have 5 years of college athletic ability or eligibility left. So
yeah,
I'm
still have
considering
one.
going back into college golf just to
But you
get
see,
a bush light.
so there's a couple of things
John
that
Daly sponsorship.
Yeah,
yeah,
John Daly.
there's a couple of things that I see that, there are good things and then there are bad things. One thing is, and I know Dylan hates Barstool, but I jump on the Barstool thing
A Barstool shirt.
as you're wearing a Barstool t-shirt.
Yes.
But it goes right away of Portnoy, hey, just send us a DM. We'll give you all the free gear. Now, I'm sure being, a business person, it's not just free gear. I'm sure they've signed something. And one of my buddies who I'm friends with on Twitter, he's actually an NFL certified agent. I was reading some of his stuff. There's a lot of companies right now that are kind of, I would say, screwing these college athletes by putting their likenesses in. You sign that contract and you're stuck at $20 for your entire career when you thought you were going to make 20 million playing in college. So, I feel like there's a good sense and then there's a bad sense where I think a lot of kids are going to get screwed.
Yeah, they're just going to sign on the dotted line.
Yeah,
think about all those kids down in like Alabama or Florida who are trying to get out of these rough places. They get a scholarship to go play somewhere, and they're like, "You mean to tell me I could get $1,000 that I could bring back to my family each week?" They're going to sign anything. They're going to sign their lives away.
Yeah, I mean the small ones, like the volleyball player that was the first one to sign, like they won't go after they'll send those free shit. They won't go after the zero milk fucking commercial that they do on campus. Mm-hmm. But the big names that they get, they will follow up and go after some of that money. I mean,
oh yeah,
they're going to take advantage of all kinds of kids that don't know what they're doing. Look what happened to Tatis when he got into the league. You know what I mean? They have and I don't know what it's called. You have to look it up. But for minor leaguers and some of the kids overseas, they can sign something that says, here, I'll give you $50,000. Here, I'll give you 80. I'll give you 100. And whatever you sign at, they'll give you cash. But then there's a little, small fine print dotted line that says, but we're going to take 13% or 15% for the first 10 years of your career.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, kids are going to get hustled, and it's not going to be the ones that, are playing volleyball. No offense to some of the small sports, but they're going to let those go. They'll,
they're going for the
stuff, and
they're going for the Joe Burrow type, the CD Lamb type.
And a kid from, South Alabama or Miami that knows nothing and that wants to keep his mom's rent paid is going to sign it, and then they're going to take 20% he signs for the first round of the draft. That's just what's going to happen.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's sad.
So
here's what they should have started with. They should have just give back the people who lost all their money, got exiled, all that stuff. Reggie Bush, give him back his freaking trophy.
He is going to get that back. And for somebody
I swear to God,
Bush,
that should have been the first thing the NCAA
my shit's
did.
about to cruise up when he gets his Heisman back, baby.
That guy was electric.
So I'm looking at, some of the deals that happened, and I texted you guys about that, and Dylan knows a little bit more on this deal than I did, but Master P's son, who's going to play basketball at Tennessee State, hasn't played a game at Tennessee State yet, signed a $2 million deal with Web Apps America. Now, it sounds like more of a job type thing, but
I think it's so he's able to just cash checks from what I read, it was almost like he can code, which obviously kids do younger and younger. It sounds like he's going to be able to just, make money while in school, which all of us, well, Caleb, you couldn't, but, college kids.
That's because Caleb sucked.
Yeah. Caleb didn't know the right guys to get paid.
I was at too small of a school.
You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to do if you're in college is to make money. You know what I mean? Like, all of us should have that right. And it sounds like, that, I'm sure his name might have helped him, but it sounds like his ability is going to be a big reason as to why he's getting paid. Yeah, again, I'm sure the name doesn't hurt, but that's the way of the world.
I also saw a player from, I think, Virginia, like a cornerback from Virginia who signed with PetSmart because, he's a big dog guy. And I think part of the deal is giving back to charities or no-kill shelters or something like that. There's some good to be brought with it. But, the biggest question that I'm going to have, and I think most college fans is, what is this going to do to recruiting? Like, is your booster just going to have to write a $10 million check to get the number one quarterback, receiver, running back?
Yes.
Well, you think of how many boosters know the presidents of those Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Those boosters know people because they're rich and have money. And it's going to be, well, Adidas will pay you this. All the stuff that was underground is now going to be out in the open. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a matter of, look who we know, you know what I mean? Like, and look who for North Carolina, could Jordan, you imagine the weight he's going to be able to throw around with some of those kids? Like, oh, hey, here's some Jumpman stuff, and look what I'm going to be able to do.
And here's $25,000 in cash.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just saying.
As a fan, I'm really interested.
Whichever college team wants to pick me up and offer a box of Krispy Kreme donuts for me to play golf, I'm signing tomorrow.
So, but and the other thing, if you have boosters trying to outpay one another, does that even out the college football playing field? So let's say, does Texas have more boosters than Alabama that are willing to pay for higher guys? Does that make Texas better in the long run?
I definitely think it brings more into play, and I think with the NCAA is.
So does that mean Harbaugh's actually going to win some games now?
Because the playoff expansion, it's not a coincidence that the playoff's going to expand and they just approved athletes to make more money. You're going to put, names on stages. You're going to have a bigger playoff, and you're going to have those sponsored athletes playing televised games on ABC and ESPN that have signed endorsement deals. And then when that first touchdown happens in the next 20 timeouts are going to be sponsorships of 5 athletes that are in that game. That's what it's going to be. I'm not.
The rich get richer.
Mad at it. It kind of reminds me of basketball, if you've seen that, obviously.
I do remember that.
The beginning, and they're talking about all the sponsors and shit like that and renaming stadiums. It's going to change the game. And I'm sure it'll take, a couple of, whether bad apples or some sketchy guys that, when we wake up before we go to work on Sports Center, there's a breaking story of something super crooked that happened. And they're going to have to, dial it in and figure out the best way to go forward with, the program. I like the idea. I think it's good that you're going to have, athletes making money off of the hundreds of millions of dollars, billions that they bring in. But it's not perfect right now, and you'll have to figure it out, quick on the fly too.
I heard Sandusky's coming back to Penn State now.
But I'm thinking
Michael Vick has a PetSmart deal. He's bringing to Virginia Tech.
So
yeah, right.
This obviously
Virginia Tech and PetSmart.
This obviously helped Division I schools. So not just Division I, but only Division I Power Fives, because I can't think of like MAC schools paying out money. I can't think of WAC schools paying out money. I can't.
Well, it depends on who your alumni is and how much money you got.
Well, you'll get some benefits, you know what I mean? Whether it's a local restaurant or, you know what I mean? Like, you'll get small stuff that I think will, pad some pockets of even some of the small schools. You know what I mean?
Well, think about this. Right. Mark Cuban graduated from IU. What does that play a part? Now you got the owner of the Dallas Mavericks being
he went to IU business school. He didn't go to IU.
Well,
the point is
Neil Armstrong and Purdue. You're gonna have the moon and NASA sponsoring Boilermakers, baby.
That's right.
Larry Bird is going to bring back Indiana State football.
Could you imagine? Larry Bird's signature shoe.
And
They call it the Sycamore, and it's gonna be fucking nasty.
that's kind of like where I'm thinking is like, you know, when I was playing in college, like, you know, we were super like you couldn't get. I remember one guy. We had a player whose dad wanted to print T-shirts for the team, and the NCAA wouldn't let him do it because they called it a benefit. I was like, it's a T-shirt. Like
You'd have to throw it on the ground and find it at campus and pick it up.
and
Random,
especially
pick up
like
a random box.
so like the walk-on guys, you know, unless you made the travel squad. Thank goodness I made the travel squad. Like you weren't able to eat with the team. You were kind of on your own. So. And I saw one of the Indiana State guys signed with Barstool today, which, you know, I'm happy for. You know, guys, go out there and do what you got to do. But I just want, you know, college athletes need to be careful and see exactly what they're getting themselves into. If you don't have, like, if somebody puts something in front of you to sign, make sure you have somebody that reads through it and make sure they know and you know exactly what you're signing yourself up.
So do you think that the agents should be allowed in college sports now? So
That's another Pandora's box is like, do you allow kids getting agents at like their junior year?
Yeah. I mean, because
they should have advisors, or even like schools or colleges should have advisors. You know what I mean? But
100%.
It's a matter of then, you know, you're paying for maybe nothing if you aren't a big star. I mean, at the end of the day, these kids need to go into it knowing that no one has their best interest in mind. The only person that's going to keep them number one is themselves. These companies aren't doing it for free and to help them out. They're doing it because they get something out of it. You know what I mean? They might be honest companies and good to work for, but they're doing it because they're going to get something. They might not be crooked, but they're still doing it because they're going to benefit from it. So, before anyone signs anything, you know, whether it's a coach or someone you trust, I mean, that's number one rule. Don't sign anything unless somebody looks over it.
Lawyer up.
Yeah. That's just, and you're going to have kids that don't do that, and
it's going to cost them in the long run.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll end our sports takes with that. That was a good set of sports takes. All I care about is if NCAA, the football game, comes back. That's all I care about, because the last time I got a check, I did get a check in college for $250 for my likeness because of Ed O'Bannon. So thanks, Ed O'Bannon, for that $250 I don't even think I was actually even white in that game. If it was like NCAA like 11 or 12 that I got the check for. So whatever. So let's move into sports cards. So the biggest topic we left last weekend or 2 weekends ago was Neil had a big card trade coming where he was going to California. So Neil has gone to California, and we'll fill everybody in right now with what he did.
I ate an In-N-Out burger.
Ooh.
That's it.
You're fat.
No, I'm kidding. No,
that's why you're wearing an In-N-Out burger t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right. I had to get one, right? You know, I like to be a tourist when I can, right? First time out to California, you got to make up for it. So I picked up a couple cards. I picked up these are what I picked up. So I got the Brady auto, which is pretty sick. And then a nice Bowman Chrome. Brady auto again, auto 10. So those were my big pickups. A nice trade that I made. And then I also picked up a Red Power Patrick Mahomes PSA 9 rookie out of 49, which, I mean, football's just getting hotter, and it's going to continue. I think people are so tired of basketball. I think football is just going to just catch fire if it's not already starting to. So I'm on the football train. I didn't think I would be, but I'm all about the football train now.
I mean, that's what everything's trending to. If you look at building up to the Nationals, even I posted on our Facebook page that Steve Young rookie BGS 9 sold for $850, and it's trending up. So you're seeing, and I haven't even texted you guys yet, but I got a Jerry Rice rookie PSA 6 that I think if you look, recent comps are like $145, $150, and I got it for $60.
Yeah.
So even the old school cards are moving up.
I got to start buying some Dak Prescott's for his MVP year.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you got to admit though, like he's got a chance. He's got a chance to be good.
Got a chance to be what he's always been. There ain't no fucking way he wins MVP.
Mediocre.
I'll bet one of those little fancy Tom Brady cards that fucking don't happen.
You don't have enough money to bet a fancy Tom Brady card.
Oh yeah, we do. Cash? I don't have cards.
You wouldn't put cash on that.
Oh.
I wouldn't put cash on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I have 10K that says Dak's not going to win MVP.
Do you think that he's going to finish top 5?
In what, like yards or like rating
MVP?
or what?
MVP potential? I mean, you think about it. Mahomes is the outright favorite. He should win.
Mahomes, Rodgers.
But
Brady.
If you're talking
are
about
locks.
value coming off an injury, like
Herbert.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing when we're talking about Kevin Durant coming off an injury, dark horse. All of a sudden he plays well.
I don't see him in the top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10's a lot.
You're talking not even the top third of the league?
So, I mean, I'm saying, obviously, Rodgers, Brady.
What do you mean Rodgers ain't even going to play?
See, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
So, Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes. That's 3. I could see Josh Allen ahead of him. That would be 4. I could see Kyler ahead of him. That'd be 5.
Herbert.
You mean the
3 to
the
5
midget.
is tough. What?
You mean the midget?
Yeah.
Kyler will have a better career than Dak.
With all the offensive weapons around him, he cannot have a bad season.
Yeah, Dak is just
what
such
did he
a
do
snooze
last year?
for me.
Throw to old man Larry Fitzgerald and not have an offensive line that could protect him.
But I don't see them grading I don't see what they did.
Kyler
I
had
don't
a
see him
good
doing
year
anything
last
like
year.
Mahomes. Yeah, but like he couldn't win games. He was playing against John Wolford in the last game of the season, and my Rams beat him. Like John Wolford.
All kinds of teams lose games. I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, I know, but you had your chance to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you can't hard carry an entire shitty team.
But look at the division that the Cowboys are in. Like you have an Eagles team who doesn't even know who their identity is. You have a Giants team who hasn't stayed healthy in, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years since.
That's how little I think of Dak.
Say what?
I said that's how little I think of Dak.
5th round. He's a 5th round pick for a reason.
The offensive line is
Oh,
bad.
okay. Pick 199, Tom Brady. 6th round pick for a reason.
That defense is awful. That offensive line, people are holding on to like 5 years ago when it was decent, when it was good.
Yeah, but here's the thing about you guys know football. Here's the thing about defense. How much of defense is also brought by the fact that you have an offense that can carry the ball and take pressure off the defense.
But they've had a bad defense even when Dak is on the field and playing. They've never had a good defense.
They had a decent defense 2 years ago. Last year, obviously, that's a little bit different. But, it wasn't as bad as last year. But last year, they couldn't get the ball 10 yards down the field.
So you're saying
he got injured?
17 games, I'd have the Cowboys, without even looking at their schedule, at, 9-8?
If 9-8 gets into the playoffs.
Oh, I don't think it does. I think Washington for sure has more than 9 wins.
With Heineke?
I don't care who's playing. That defense is enough for me.
That defense, they got a good set of running backs and Scary Terry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you got to have a quarterback who can push the ball down the field.
Seattle or St. Louis Battlehawks, boy. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, if Chase Young starts talking trash again, the Redskins are going downhill.
He doesn't have Dwayne Haskins going to the strip club and then going out throwing balls.
Jackson.
No, the Steelers do now.
Dude, I'll take Shane Falco all day.
I'm just saying, guys. If you look at the way the hobby respects putting up points, putting up yards, putting up, all this, scoring and just being relevant, Dak Prescott has to be there. He's going to throw for a lot of yards. He's going to He's going to throw for touchdowns. He's going to run for touchdowns. He's going to be relevant.
Oh, we don't even
Plus
know
he's
if he can
got
hobble
plus he's
yet.
got a great wide receiving core who he can just chuck the ball to.
But the Cowboys have had a good receiving core for 10 years, and they're always dick.
And let's pump the brakes on great. Like CeeDee Lamb didn't show me anything last year.
What do you mean?
You have CeeDee Lamb, you have Amari Cooper. So
Amari Cooper
through the first 4 games or 5 games before Dak Prescott injured was on pace to be wide receiver 1.
He better be wide receiver 1 for getting $100 million.
I'm just saying he was on pace.
He was trash with the Raiders, and he's no better with the Cowboys.
Listen,
sounds like Neil's just a Cowboys homer. I don't know.
I'm not. But I'm just saying, like coming off an injury, I think it's a great play.
I don't like it for MVP because I can't see it. And I mean, unless it was 10-1,
or if it's comeback player of the year, possibly
comeback player of the year, they might just give to him. But
there you go.
Still like
that's not MVP though.
He's only like plus 220 for comeback player of the year. I would rather honestly bet Carson Wentz at like 12-1.
Ooh.
You mean the guy who sees ghosts?
Ooh.
That's Sam Darnold, dumbass.
He's gonna be seeing ghosts too.
No, Sam Darnold is the truth this year, bro.
Oh.
See, here's the thing. You guys have been talking in my ear all the time about Sam Darnold. Darnold.
Yep.
I'm like, so you're hating on Dak Prescott,
yeah,
who has not been statistically in his career has not been bad. He's been decent. He's been a top. I mean, if we look at just fantasy, he's been a top 5 quarterback in fantasy.
Top 10.
Top 5, top 10. Okay.
That's
Top 5, top 10 is going to win
motherfucker.
you fantasy. But at the same time, Sam Darnold, you don't know what you're going to get from that guy.
Gold, baby.
But, I mean, like, is this the same thing as Cam Newton last year? Everybody's buying up Cam Newton cards because they think he's going to
put anybody in New York. That Adam Gase is the biggest fucking piece of trash. There's no way.
But the point I'm trying to make is like just because like you're arguing Sam Darnold's change of scenery means that he's going to be good, but Amari Cooper going to the Dallas Cowboys means he's still trash.
But you're also, Neil, if you're going
what experience do they have in Dallas of flipping someone to be more productive than they are? I mean, they've always
Amari
underperformed.
Cooper has been more productive than he was in
but
with the
they've
Raiders.
Always underwhelmed.
You're giving Dak Prescott one good year since 2016. His 1 year in 2019, he threw for almost 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 11 INTs. Before that, he couldn't break 4,000 yards throwing the ball.
What are his stats? Tell me his stats.
2016, he threw for 3,600, 23 and 4.
That's pretty good season.
2017, 3,300, 22 and 13.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's not good. It's better than Sam Darnold, but it's not
2018, 3,800, 22 and 8.
That's decent. That'll get you places.
2019, 4,900, 30 and 11.
Okay.
And then 2020, before he got hurt, he was 1,800, 9 and 4.
Yuck.
Okay, so he was throwing the ball well. He just got injured, but like in the same way, like not everybody's going to come out and just be Patrick Mahomes and be able to throw the ball 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
I mean,
some people have to develop. I think Dak's shown that he can develop and become a quarterback.
I mean, Pro Football Focus has him just outside the top 5.
For MVPs? Or
no, just as a quarterback in the league.
Oh.
So he's just outside the top 5.
Yeah, top 10.
He's had 2 top 10 finishes in the grade out of his career with Pro.
Yeah, well, Pro Football Focus will also say that freaking Vince Wilfork was the best defensive lineman in the NFL because he was able to sit there and be it's hard roly-poly on the ground.
And is Kellen Moore still the offensive coordinator there?
Which is hilarious.
Is Kellen Moore was a quarterback at Boise, wasn't
Boise. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave a 12-year-old a clipboard and told him to coach Dak Prescott, bro.
Hey,
They gave
did-
a
hey,
lefty
they did the-
12-year-old a clipboard, bro.
they did the same thing with Byron Leftwich. They said, "Hey, why don't you go coach the greatest of all time?"
To be fair, he looks like a fucking hero.
it?
Yeah, because he's coaching the GOAT. Like, come on.
No, man, it's all that Steelers experience under Big Ben, man.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you could have put Adam Gase as the offensive coordinator for the Bucks,
Whoa.
and Tom Brady wouldn't care because Adam Gase would be calling plays and Tom Brady's still calling his own plays.
Yeah,
Bro,
he
he
would-
would give Tom Brady directions to fucking Jacksonville Stadium. He'd be so far off. Like,
It doesn't matter.
wrong
It doesn't
address,
matter,
bro.
Tom. It doesn't matter because Tom would still make it work. He'd still win the
He'd still
championship.
find
It doesn't
his way.
matter.
Oh,
Oh my god.
that was good.
There
So,
you go.
Neil, any other card stuff that you're looking at? Who's moving? Who's not? Who's falling out of the sky?
I don't know. I mean, Mahomes and Brady, but if we're gonna be realistic, it's Mahomes and Brady.
Yeah.
I think
Sam Darnold.
we talked about this before. Like, I'll put 80% into blue chip players. That's Mahomes and Brady. I'll put my 20% into Dak Prescott. Why not? Take a flyer on it.
You know what? I might put my 20% into freaking Sam Darnold.
Lock it in, bro.
I mean,
I-
look here. Here's something interesting. I was looking at numbers, but so Dak Prescott was
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, you kidding me?
here, let's do
Check
this.
downs for days, baby.
DJ Moore.
so Josh Allen right now. Okay, so at his peak last year, $1,100.
Yeah.
Right. Right now, July 6th, $713.
Okay. It's still the off season. We're building up training camp.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a good buy.
Yep.
Like, I think a lot of quarterbacks are a
Oh.
good buy right now.
Come the Nationals, that thing will be $1,100.
Oh, I believe it. But I think there's a lot of I think Josh Allen. I mean, I put 10% into Prescott, 10% in Josh Allen. I mean,
But
someone's going to have a chance, right?
it's so what's the play? Do you bet on those quarterbacks like a Baker Mayfield that I've been trying to sell since his rookie year that I can't get rid of? Or do you
I think
go
you
with
sell
should've
Baker.
sold it
I think you
last
sell
year.
Baker
It
right as
started
soon as the
popping off
season
last
starts.
year.
I couldn't. I tried to sell the thing for $500 and nobody would take it.
You'll get another chance this year. The Browns are going to have all kinds of hype. They're going to win that division. I mean,
So
He-
if anybody
Here's what I should say. Maybe Dak Prescott isn't MVP, but if his
Sam
peak
Darnold.
last year, September 16th, was $1,400 for a Prism PSA 10.
uh-huh.
Last sale is $772.
Jesus.
So you're telling me I buy in at $772 and I got a potential to make 30 to 40%, even 100% if he plays well?
Oh, well, I would never argue that it's a good buy to make money off of.
Maybe that's where I'm screwing up. Maybe he's not MVP, but
He's a
if he
good
plays
buy.
well enough, if
I
he
mean,
makes a run at it, they get on a
80%
hot
of
streak.
me is just busting your balls. I mean,
Hey.
yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like we have the discussion of me on the Tua thing. Like I don't believe in Tua as a quarterback, but if he has 1 or 2 games,
Yeah.
do you think I bought that card for $200 and can't flip it for $400 to $800? Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
like that card a lot, though.
Yeah, no, I think in the flip game, yeah, there's definitely potential. I mean, this week to week, some wide receiver goes off, and then all of a sudden his stuff doubles in value, and then it goes back down. And the next week when he stinks it up and has 1 catch, But I think there's money to be made on Dak Prescott. There's money to be made on Josh Allen and these other quarterbacks who aren't looked after right now, who aren't named Mahomes and Brady, who have potential to have really, really, really good years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I say this. Could you argue that Dak Prescott won't be a top 5 quarterback potential by the end of the year? And if he's a top 5 quarterback potential and they're in the playoffs, is that a buy? I think it is.
It will be for others. I'm not going to necessarily buy, Dak, but that's just.
Or Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'd like to see Josh Allen do what he did last year again, because
I would like to see him not beat Phillip Rivers' Colts team. See what, like, you almost lost the old man Rivers. Like,
for Josh Allen to go from statistically the most inaccurate passer 2 years ago to what he did last year is quite a leap. So show me that again.
yeah, go straight Todd Marinovich on him.
I mean, he was inaccurate as fuck, and that's just numbers. As far as uncatchable balls, he was.
So was he a write-off at the beginning, even though he's a first-round draft pick?
What do you mean?
Was he a write-off?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said Dak Prescott sucked, so I mean, it just took him a couple years to develop. Same with Josh Allen.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I want to see that again. Dak's shown me enough for me to understand that he is going to be top 15 quarterback. Like I said,
I'd say he's top
guy.
10 quarterback easy in the
He's
NFL.
been in the league since 16.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to see if Allen shows me that again, then I'll feel comfortable with saying, yeah, going forward, he's going to be, a guy that's around for a while.
He's not. Yeah, we're not comparing him to Jimmy Clausen.
Oh, baby.
I know, but you.
Colt McCoy, son.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm saying
Like,
those two guys.
It's just like it's like college football recruiting. You have to give a recruiting class 2 to 3 years to like move in. It's like, I don't claim that Jordan Burroughs, Justin Herbert, like the Herbert train. Like, what if he has a sophomore slump? Like,
I think Herbert's a sell. He's way too high.
Like, what if he just completely stinks it up, and so do all the other quarterbacks?
Well, look at Baker. I mean, after his first year, he plummeted.
Yeah, well, I'm hard on the no Herbert Burrow train. I mean, I have a bet with either Caleb or multiple people that I mean, Burrow is gonna have, in my opinion, a better year than Herbert. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's a lot of stuff, and that's what's fun about football season coming up is special. Oh, now thinking about this, kind of going back to the college thing, if there's some endorsement deals, are we going to see college football cards? Is Panini Topps Leaf going to jump into that?
I hope not, because it's just trash.
Could you imagine, like we've already had this discussion of like Prism Draft and Contenders, and
Leaf does a lot of the like Under Armour All-American autograph signings.
Yeah.
The Team USA stuff.
Yeah, Team USA stuff. They do stuff like that already. And those stuff are cool until they get into NFL jerseys, and then that stuff plummets.
True.
So I've been digging one kind of the college jerseys, and I mean, it's very specific, and that's, the autos and the black 101s that Mosaic has. I do think they look dope. They're not huge cards. Obviously, they're in college jerseys, but I would love to buy one of those of the big quarterbacks, coming out this year. I think they look sick.
The only way I could get away with it would be Immaculate, Flawless, or NT. Like, I got to have a nice patch auto. The Contenders autos or like the college tickets or stuff like that, not appealing to me.
I sold that Deshaun Watson National Treasure, like auto, was it of 10 RPA? I sold that at the right time last year.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still holding on to one. I got to find it.
Yeah, I got good money for that. Something tells me now it probably doesn't have the same look to it.
No, totally agree. So
who steps on the field first?
Ooh,
Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
I still haven't heard anything on Deshaun Watson. I would have to go Rodgers. I don't know what they're thinking with Watson at all, honestly.
Do we even know if Rodgers is even thinking about coming back?
I mean, Brady poked at him during the golf match this weekend.
Yeah, but we all know Rodgers is a lone wolf.
Yeah, I
disowned his family and whatnot.
I mean, I would too. Have you ever heard how crazy his family is?
I feel like the Packers will cave. I mean, it's a matter of I feel like they will.
What Caven do what though?
They have to pay him.
Negotiate. I mean, even if it's not money that he wants.
So he gets more money, but like I don't, that's what I don't understand about Aaron Rodgers is he's got talent to win. Like, sure, okay, your defense was not as good as the Buccaneers.
No, they weren't bad.
You had a great offense. Tonyan, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones,
They need
two All-Pro linemen. What are you complaining about?
They need some receiver help.
They need bad receiver help.
They drafted a nice receiver. Amari Rodgers is a good, nice little slot.
They need to call up Aaron Rodgers. They need to trade Jordan Love and say, we're sorry.
Yeah, and we have to pay him at an MVP caliber, whether it be a 1-2 year deal, front load the money, give him a nice signing bonus, and be done with it.
I feel like he doesn't want money.
I don't think he does. I think he wants to win, but I think that is what it'll come down to is like, hey, we might not be able to, pay a receiver $1 billion to come here, but we'll give you more money if you want to, give it another go.
I think he wants to win more than he wants the money.
Oh, I like I said, yeah. I mean, that's what I said. I completely agree.
I don't know. I don't see him playing just because he got more money to come play.
I mean, if he doesn't play this year, then retire because quarterbacks don't take a year off.
Hey, that's what Megatron did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you could, and there's
you follow the other, one of the most overrated players of all time. That would
Megatron,
fit right in. Yeah, for sure.
Overrated?
I think he is. Yeah.
I mean, if Detroit pays him, he probably goes down as what, top 3 wide receiver?
If he had
5 fucking drugs.
If he had a great team around him, what could he have been?
If he had a great team, if Calvin Johnson played with Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson
bring that into it though.
Calvin Johnson is the best receiver of all time.
But he's not because he didn't those guys.
Matt Stafford, I'm saying he settles top 5.
So Matt Stafford wasn't his quarterback the entire time, correct? He had Joey Harrington, didn't he?
Not for long.
Not for long.
Maybe a year.
I'd have to look it up.
What was Calvin Johnson? What year was that? His rookie? 08?
It might be. I don't know off the top of my head.
I wish Squints was on.
Yeah, I wish
Justin was on.
He was a 2007 first-round draft pick.
Okay. And then Stafford came in 08? 09?
I think 09?
I'm just going to go to Card Ladder.
I think 09.
I'm just going to go Stafford.
I mean, that's Dak Prescott.
2009.
2009. So he played with
2 years.
Joey Harrington. And then, Stafford was hurt a couple times.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like, the Lions have a terrible front office just like Green Bay does. So it's not like they helped him out at all.
No, but I mean,
it's about the same reason why Barry Sanders retired.
Yeah, but I mean, he's probably. I mean, people will argue he's number 1.
Running back?
Yeah. People will argue. People generally argue Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, and Jim Brown.
Got to throw Earl Campbell in there.
I like Earl Campbell personally, but do I think he's top 3? No.
Uh-oh. We got no audio from Dylan. Nope. Yeah.
Nope. No audio.
No audio.
You know what it is? It's God.
Oh, wait. We can hear you now.
Hear your opinion.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. I mean, you can argue anything. So, I mean.
True.
There's people that argue Peyton Manning's the best ever. And, I mean, those people smoke crack, so.
Yeah, I'm a Colts fan. He's not the best ever.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a legitimate argument
for
those 3 guys.
There is.
I mean, if you're high on methamphetamines, yeah.
But
who you got then?
I'm not even answering that question. And any other answer is dumb as fuck. There's one answer, and if your answer isn't that, you're an idiot to me.
No. I could see a legitimate argument for Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, and Jim Brown.
I thought you moved to quarterbacks for running backs.
No. Yeah, for running backs.
Oh, I mean, I would go with Emmitt Smith. I mean, you have the crown. I'll give it to him. You have the yards. To me, then Yeah, I'd give it to him.
So when Frank Gore passes him, is Frank
Gore wishes he's passing.
He'll pass him. He'll be like 85, and he'll still be
him and
running.
his son will play on the same team in the NFL.
No, I mean, it's hard for me to probably, not argue Emmett or Barry. Those would probably be mine.
Yeah.
So you got Barry in the top 3, top 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
would probably say
top 3.
Barry, Emmett, Walter Payton, LT.
Dude, I love LT. I love me some LT.
See, that's the problem with running backs is you can insert so many guys there that were great, even though their yards might not be forever. And
he was unbelievable.
I would throw in just because I'm a homer Edrin.
And
how about Marshall Faulk?
Yeah, Marshall Faulk's up there for sure.
Yeah, but I think you could probably do the same. Well, we know in wide receiver it's Jerry Rice, number 1. Are we all in agreement?
For sure.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice.
Okay. My number 2 is probably not everyone's number 2.
I think 2 through 5 could be a mix-up, but I'm getting Megatron, Randy Moss.
See, Randy Moss is my 2 for sure.
Yeah, I think Randy Moss is there. I think if Megatron played his entire career, I think Randy Moss, Megatron are right there.
Randy Moss not getting a title with that team and what he did that year with his records, one of the most heartbreaking things.
So here's my thing. Randy Moss to me is number 3 all time.
Okay.
Jerry Rice, I personally feel because I thought he had better hands was Chris Carter. I have Chris Carter 2.
Okay.
And then Randy Moss 3.
Yeah, so like Chris Carter, Randy Moss. You can put Marvin Harrison in, and then at that five spot, you put Larry. You can put Megatron.
I'm gonna have Torrey Holt in my top 10 for sure.
Torrey Holt's number 1 in my book, but that's just
because consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, he's first or second. Neil, you'd probably be able to help me out.
I don't know Torrey's statistics, but I know his signed football in my memorabilia.
Good old Julio is gonna have a chance to get his name up there.
Yeah.
Just with what he's doing, yards wise, is pretty impressive. Speaking of Rams, while we're talking about Torrey Holt, Neil, did you see those 2 101 Marshall Faulks floating around the last couple of days
on Facebook?
Yeah, one was like an RPA and it was only like $500 and it was a 1 of 1. I'm like,
you should tag me in that.
It's fucking disgusting, and I'm pretty sure it's a national treasures.
I have on my PC a Marshall Faulk game used jersey.
Yeah. They were
patch auto.
Stupid affordable, and they were both 1 of 1s.
Yeah, for $500, that is a steal.
If you find that, tag me before this podcast ends, so that way nobody else can steal them from me.
I will go back and look. Another thing when it comes to nationals, you 2 are going. If you find, and you're not going to find it. Like I've looked for how long. Caleb knows. A Reggie Bush fucking USC jersey.
I'm going to tell you right now. From what I've heard about the Nationals, I will be 100% surprised if there is not one there.
If you see one and it's not,
I'll get it. You can pay me back.
So, funny story.
I want one so badly.
Real quick. So the guy that got Reggie Bush in trouble, his name is Mike Ornstein. Mike Ornstein worked for the Rams. He was a money guy. Mike Ornstein's also a graduate of Indiana State University. He was a football booster, and he would come to our dinners and stuff like that. Mike knew a lot of people and still does. And so if there's anybody that has one, Mike Ornstein will have one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a worn. I found cleats the other day that were worn in 3 games. They weren't his Heisman, but they were 3 games, and one of the games he did have a touchdown in. One of them was his first 100-yard receiving game. But they weren't his Heisman year, which, sucks a little bit, but he wore them in 3 games. Autoed cleats. So they were like $1,200. So that's not awful.
That's not bad.
No. So all right, so we'll finish it up with some bets. Dylan, you've already said that, not big on betting right now with baseball.
It's a little slow.
It's
day-to-day stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough play. So kind of waiting on that. We do have a big UFC card this weekend. You got McGregor and Poirier. Look at the line. The line is just about even. McGregor is minus 102. Poirier is minus 126. So you're about even money either way you go.
Who you got?
Yeah, I'm big on Dustin, and I love Connor. I hope he wins. And if I flush the money down the toilet, then, I paid for the person that I want to win. But yeah. I just, Connor's got $1 billion in the bank. I don't know how much he has in him to really make the correction, because everything he took against Dustin, he had the skills to defend and prevent. Mm-hmm. And he just didn't. You know what I mean? I mean, calf kicks are something that Connor switches stances. Connor knows how to deal with that.
Do you
Connor
think
came in there only trying to throw bombs, and Dustin was like, well, I'm going to all around just press you.
I'm going to kick
you think part of that was just Connor, like he said, and he said in his interviews, just overlooking him rather than focusing?
I think so. Normally? I believe that somewhat, because there was a ton of Manny talk going on during that. I also think that some of it was,
did you just get this notification?
Similar to the Diaz stuff. He's got money. It's how much motivation is inside of someone when they have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Let me read this. This just came up. Very timely.
Because Craig just texted me about it.
McGregor attempts kick in face-off. Conor McGregor comes within inches of kicking Dustin Poirier as they are separated.
So he's trying to be like the first time that they faced off. And I saw.
Wait, did they already have weigh-ins today?
What's today? Today's Thursday. No, today's press conference. So, and I saw him do his interviews with like Ariel and some other people. And I'm going to take McGregor, being that he spent this camp alone, not with his family. He said, without the fam, I'm a bad man. So, we'll see.
He's focused.
If he loses, and I haven't locked in money yet. I told you guys probably 4 or 5 hours ago, I was 50-50 on where my money will go, and it won't be a small bet. Gut says Dustin. Now, am I going to look into more before I lock in my solos and a parlay? 100%. And that is a pretty sick card. I just
the double champ.
Dude, do I bet with my heart and just let Connor break my heart and my wallet, or do I bet on Dustin, and if my wallet wins, my heart loses, and vice versa? So
if he does lose, what is Connor? Is Connor just like another throw him away?
Connor's legacy is still a game changer. I mean, he changed the
first
game.
Double champ.
True, but is he worth a pay-per-view buy? Are you still buying him to watch?
Yeah.
He won't be as big, but people will absolutely, if he still fights, they'll want to see him.
Yeah, because they want to see him knock people out. That's what he does best.
So I got a couple betting dogs, and
because the Diaz fight is still something people want, even
maybe
if
he'll go and take out Jake Paul or something.
I would give anything for somebody to just drop that kid in general.
I hope he decapitates him if that happens.
God, that would be pretty funny. So I got a couple dogs that the co-main event is Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Ooh. You have Gilbert Burns at plus 122 and Wonderboy at minus 156. I personally feel Gilbert Burns is a good buy here, just because I've seen Wonderboy knocked out, not recently, but
once. Yeah, that button is found, man.
And it's not like it was a out cold knockout, not a flash.
I'd like to see their ground numbers. That's something I tend to play off of a lot in MMA is takedowns, takedown defense, and their last fight. So I honestly don't know what their numbers are recently. Obviously,
well, you got to trust the Brazilians.
Yeah, I mean Thompson's not taking somebody down every 5 seconds.
He's karate fighting.
Yeah, so I'd like to see what those numbers are. But yeah, I'm good with Gilbert. That's where my money would be, just hearing it.
The good thing with Wonderboy is he went what 2 or 3 fights with Tyrone. Tyrone couldn't take him down. Was it twice?
Twice, didn't they?
I think it was twice, but it was pretty rough. And
it doesn't get any better than that Pettis knockout, though.
Exactly, the Superman punch off the wall, like that was a clean your clock. And you think of Wonder Boy, he's up in age. He's almost 40.
Yeah, which is
Or he is 40.
wild.
Which, he looks like
Burn sounds better and better as we talk.
Yeah. Couple other good picks that I have Ryan Hall, who's a jiu-jitsu ace. He's 8-0. I should have put the money down yesterday. Yesterday he was plus 390
Ooh.
to this guy who was he's 10-0. He's the guy he's fighting is 10-0. Ryan Hall hasn't fought in 2 years. Reason being is everybody's been ducking him after he blew BJ Penn's knee out. Now he did have a fight after that, but this guy is a ADCC champ. He's a jiu-jitsu ace. So when you think of MMA, he's like the new age Damian Maia. Damian Maia is now absolute trash, but this Ryan Hall guy,
he had a good run about a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, then it's going to come down to this other guy's ability to defend. Can he defend takedowns? Can he defend?
Well, and ring rust scares me in MMA. That is a tough thing to bet.
It is. 2 years is a long
Dominic
time.
Cruz. Dominic Cruz showed us after 2-year layoff he could come back and.
Yeah, but he's also been touched up his last couple times too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you can come back.
You can, and that's
the craziest part about MMA is it's one punch.
Yeah,
it's
it
one
doesn't
punch.
affect some people at all. John Jones,
it's one miss.
Doesn't matter, at all.
Well, when you're so souped up on cocaine, you're never gonna have ring rust.
Super sane, baby.
I love John Jones. I don't care. He can snort as much coke as he wants. He can take as many steroids. I want to see him knock Francis Ngannou out cold, even though it won't happen. I want to see it happen.
That fight's gonna be gnarly.
Like if they just put a giant pile of coke in the middle of the ring and then let him go at it, I love it.
So the final one I have is I got Greg Hardy, who's plus 112 versus Tua Vayasa, who's minus 110.
That's a big son of a bitch that does the shoeies, right?
Yes.
He does have a gas tank. Give me Hardy.
I think Hardy's got the gas tank and Hardy's got the power. Now, hopefully he can put his boxing together now.
That's going to be wild. I did not realize that was
Who's this Tuivasa guy?
He's built like Mark Hunt, but taller.
He's a little flabby.
A little flabby. He's got some hands.
Giant BJ Penn.
He's flabby.
He's a giant BJ Penn. Yeah.
He's a little bit.
Is he flabby?
Yes.
Yeah. Greg Hardy's gonna murder him.
No, he's for sure.
But here's the problem.
Greg Hardy has football strength.
Well, but Hardy is a developing MMA star. I mean, maybe that's a little much, but he's looked better and better. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in close and takes him down, because that Tui guy lays on his back and just chills, dude.
But if he
wrap your hands, club up, run your feet, just like I was taught in junior league football.
Yeah, I can see him ground and pound.
But the only problem is watching Hardy's pre-fight interviews this week is he is all in on the sports, and he's talking about knocking out Deontay Wilder. He
wants Derek Lewis too.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes here. It's almost like that the professional wrestling guy calling out Fedor, Jake Hager. Jake Hager, Jake Hager was a good, Ohio or Oklahoma wrestler. But
he was a decent MMA fighter.
You know what? I'm calling out Brock Lesnar.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Oh, shit.
In a hot dog eating contest.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh okay. But yeah,
Henry, I'm coming for you, dude.
I'm taking
for your donuts.
So Craig texted me, and he Tyson Fury has the Rona.
Yeah, I saw that. Got that notification.
Oh shit!
So that fight is supposed to be in a couple weeks.
It's postponed.
Is it?
Yep. At least that's what the announcement came in. Here, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I mean that'll kill cardio for a couple weeks, a month.
Tyson Fury tests positive for COVID. July 24th title fight with Deontay Wilder has been postponed.
So what? They push it back to what? You think September, August,
maybe January?
Well, that's the thing.
Really?
Tyson can milk that as long as he wants now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might do. There's always a big card around New Year's. You know what I mean? They could wait.
Yeah.
We're only 7 months. I mean, I say only, but we're only 5 months from that.
Or they tag it up the same weekend as I saw AJ's fighting again. He's fighting some number one contender scrub.
Yeah. Or I mean, there's always big cards around the Super Bowl. I mean, they could fucking wait until February.
Could be. So, it's a possibility. I want to see that fight happen. I don't think Deontay's – the more I watch Deontay train and talk and not talk at the press conference, the less on the Deontay train I become, and he's just going to get mauled.
You doing anything for this card Saturday, Caleb? You out of town? What's the deal?
No, I'm here. What you want to do? You see this TV? I got the couch.
I don't know. I think the Connor might be a big.
Hey, you know what you guys should do?
Punk ass.
You guys should drive over to Columbus.
Okay.
And then you can stay here, and we can go to Ryan's Card Shop. Oh, they also have a card show in Xenia this weekend too on Saturday.
You're asking me to spend a lot of money.
No, I'm not. Hey, bring your cards to sell. Sell
Can we
and
bring
trade.
your baby to sell?
Yeah, can we?
No, he's the most prized possession. Future offensive lineman. Hopefully, he's got to get his mom's side of the family is super tall. Dad's 6'9", Sarah's brother 6'10".
Just start stretching his legs out, Neil. Just every night. Just pull on him a little bit.
I'm trying to get him to start grabbing a golf club so that way he can give Tiger Woods a run for his money.
Make some money.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll wrap it up on that. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, please give us a like, a share, tell your friends, tag us, see us on Instagram. Our Instagram handles are up there. We got a Facebook page, we got a Twitch page, we got a YouTube page, and also thank our sponsors. Thank Slab Savers. Go to protectyourslabs.com. Use Dream3 to get 10% off. Check out Graded Card Solutions, gradedship.com. Use Dream15. So thank those guys. Show their pages some love. We'll be posting all kinds of stuff. If you got questions, send them to us. If you want to talk about cards, let us talk, man. So until next time, man, we will see you guys.
Bye, Sam Darnold.
Bye, Sam Darnold, not Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, Josh Allen. If you want to make money, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen.
Sam Darnold's the only way to go.
Sam Darnold he'll be overshadowed by Christian McCaffrey.
Number 3 running back this year, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, running for his life.
Bye, Baker Mayfield. All right.
All right,
All right, until next time.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.
Sons in 4.